Since Keeping Up first dropped in 2007, the Kardashian-Jenner family hasn't just been part of pop culture. They've been airdropped into our feeds like a daily notification we never agreed to turn on. For nearly 2 decades, they've been everywhere. Television, Instagram, TikTok, tabloids, red carpets, skincare aisles, and the For You page like it's their personal living room. And with every season, every era, every new launch, the transformation keeps escalating. Pores get blurred a little more. Photos get edited a little harder. Faces get tightened, sharpened, and sculpted to such an extreme that sometimes, genuinely, they stop looking like humans with skin and start looking like glossy, AI-filtered avatars of themselves. And the internet noticed. The TikTok before and after detectives have been on this case since day one. This isn't new behavior. People have been screenshotting, zooming, comparing lighting, and lining up timelines since the very beginning. Just look at old footage, especially KHLA's confessionals across the years. Let me be so real with you for a second. Who is that? Who is that woman in those frames? Is it KHLA? Is it a clone? Is it a wax figure? Is it a lizard? Because the face we're looking at doesn't even feel like a person anymore. It feels like a character model that got updated mid-season. But here's the twist. Instead of the young forever fantasy, more and more people are landing on the exact same conclusion. The Kardashians are starting to look old. Not normal adult woman aging old. Not life happened and time moved old. But visibly tired, overworked by procedure old. The kind of old that happens when you try to outsmart biology for too long and the bill finally shows up. And before anyone tries to twist this, no, I'm not here to drag them just to drag them. If anything, I'm weirdly relieved. Because the women who taught an entire generation that youth is a purchasable product, something you can buy like a handbag, like a face cream, like a new body, have finally met the one bill they can't expense, can't filter, can't photo shoot away, can't brand into a launch: time. So buckle up, besties, because today we're going to do the pettiest, juiciest, most anatomically specific roast this channel has ever seen. We're getting into the full starter pack. Platysma bands, marionette lines, filler migration, hollowing, tightening, dissolving, refilling. Yes, the whole AARP appetizer sampler. We are about to CSI these faces. Let's start with Kim, because when Kim turned her head during that Vogue livestream, viewers didn't even notice the dress first. They noticed the neck. Specifically, the network of rope-like platysma bands running down her throat. And yes, neck bands can happen naturally with aging. But the reason they were so pronounced is because she's removed so much submental fat over the years, especially with aggressive neck and jaw contouring. When you take away the padding under the skin and you combine that with tightening, sculpting, and thinning tissue, the muscle underneath doesn't get to hide anymore. The cords become the headline. It's like stripping insulation off wires. Suddenly everything shows. Now here's where people love to get messy in the comments. They look old. They look older. And I'm like, yeah, they do look older, because they're in their mid-40s heading toward 50. That is literally what time does. And I honestly think a lot of the shock isn't about them aging. It's about people not being used to seeing famous women age, especially women who built their entire empire on looking untouched by time. But also, let's not pretend this is just normal 44, because plenty of women in their 40s look phenomenal without looking overconstructed. And that's where the second layer comes in. These women didn't just age, they aged through procedures. And that can create a very specific look, when the face has been stretched, filled, tightened, dissolved, refilled, snatched, and resnatched so many times that the tissue loses its natural ability to bounce back. You can see it most clearly in the mid-face. On Kim, the mid-cheek started to look hollow because the filler scaffold she relied on for years appears to have been dissolved or reduced. And once those support beams are removed, the tissue doesn't always spring back like people think. Gravity doesn't care about your brand deals. Gravity is undefeated. So without that volume, and after years of stretching and manipulation, you start seeing the under-eye to chin area look emptier, more pulled downward, more tired. In plain English, the scaffolding is gone and everything starts sliding. And honestly, it's sad when you look back at what she looked like before all of this. Because her original face, her natural features, were genuinely stunning. Her natural Armenian features were iconic. She didn't need to do anything. People used to clown her back in the day, calling her names, comparing her to villains like that. Was funny, but looking back now, it's like, wait, that was real beauty, distinct beauty, a face with heritage in it. And now the vibe is less ancestral beauty and more generic influencer template, like an average of cardboard cutout. And the worst part is it's not even exciting anymore. It's not even a new face. It's the same face we've seen on 100 different women, because that's what the beauty industry rewards: sameness, symmetry, smoothness, youth. Everything else gets labeled as fixable. Kim could have played Jasmine in a live-action Aladdin. I'm not kidding. She could have walked onto a set and eaten that role, and instead she traded uniqueness for trending. But the thing is, Kim has already admitted she'll just go right back for more Botox, more tightening, more tweaking, because that's how the cycle works. You never feel done. You just feel due. And speaking of Botox, let's talk about Kris Jenner, because the public response to Kris has been genuinely wild. We've got people praising her like she discovered the fountain of youth. Oh my God, she looks amazing. She looks 30 years younger. She looks like an infant. And I'm sorry she does. She looks like an expressionless infant, like a haunted porcelain doll that's been polished and tucked into a skincare fridge. And sure, from a technical standpoint, a good facelift can look impressive, but on a cultural level, it's dystopian. Because what we're celebrating is a woman nearing great-grandmother age being remodeled into a young-faced clone, and everyone's clapping like this is normal. And the irony is painful, because society claims to care about women's health, yet look at the priorities. We act like we've solved menopause, periods, pregnancy complications, postpartum health when we haven't. But plastic surgery research, cosmetic injectables, anti-aging treatments, that's where the machine invests, that's where the money flows, that's where innovation sprints. Now, I'm not going to sit here and praise Kris just because she popped out of surgery looking like a Kim Kardashian variation. Because the choice to change her face every few years fuels the same toxic standard. Women should never age. She's not 25. She didn't reverse aging. She laid down on a table and paid an amount of money most people will never see in their lifetime. And yes, I know there's an ad segment in the original about a lawsuit, so here's the clean version. Brief sponsored break, then we continue. Back to the Kardashians. Now let's talk about Kylie, because you all already know how I feel. Kylie has spent years playing this game where she admits to just enough to seem honest, while still hiding the full picture. She did come clean. She curated a confession. She gave the public one procedure she wanted to share, and everyone's supposed to applaud her bravery. And people are finally waking up. For a while, Kylie had that classic pillow face going on, overfilled, puffy, rounded in a way that doesn't move naturally. Then more recently, she appeared to deflate in certain areas, which is usually a sign of dissolving filler. But here's the part the internet needs to understand. Dissolving filler doesn't magically reset your face. When you've stretched tissue with filler for years, your tissue doesn't always retract back like a rubber band. Sometimes it stays stretched. Sometimes it droops. Sometimes the only way to truly fix it is surgical tightening, snatching and clipping away the excess. That's why the "she only has a little kiss of filler" narrative is not believable. Because you cannot stretch your face like a fitted sheet over a king-size bed for years and then claim you returned to factory settings with a sprinkle of lip filler. That is not how tissue works. So yes, do I think Kylie has had a facelift, potentially as early as 27? In my opinion, the signs people point to, like the subtle pull, the tension near the ear, the pixie ear effect, are the kinds of things facelift enthusiasts obsess over because once you see them, you can't unsee them. The public saw her face very full around 2020, then noticeably deflated by early 2024 after filler removal talk. And after that, she appears fresh again. That cycle is not usually achieved by skincare and olive oil. It's achieved by medical intervention. And we haven't even mentioned the body work. Kylie has openly admitted she got her breasts done very young. Then there was the BBL era. Now people think she scaled it back into a mini BBL. But either way, when you compare teen Kylie to present Kylie, the difference is staggering. Kyle and Kourtney deserve their own chapter. Kyle has publicly admitted to one nose job, which you can believe or not. But let's remember, this family is infamous for lying about the extent of their work. And one of the most shocking parts of Kyle's transformation lately isn't even her face, it's her hands. People have started comparing her hands from 2008 to now, and the internet is screaming chicken feet, because extreme weight loss often shows up in the hands first. The skin thins, the veins show more, the structure looks sharper. And yes, if you lose a lot of weight, Ozempic or not, you'll see it in your hands. It's not automatically a conspiracy. But the overall picture, combined with everything else, people are not crazy for noticing. Now, Kourtney has always been framed as the natural one, the sister who didn't do too much, the sister who stayed closest to her original look. And compared to the others, that might be true, but subtle work is still work. Her nose does look slightly more refined in some photos, especially through the bridge and middle vault area. The cheeks might have a touch of filler at times. Botox is likely, nothing extreme. But it's the light stuff, and even the light stuff matters because it still reinforces the same standard. And remember, Courtney paused filler and Botox during pregnancy, and people noticed immediately. That alone tells you how normalized maintenance has become. When someone stops injecting, the internet treats it like a scandal. Now I can already hear the defenders typing. You're part of the problem, you're pushing unrealistic standards. No wonder they feel pressure. And to that I say, don't you dare forget what this family is. This isn't a random group of women just trying to live their lives. This is a multi-million-dollar, honestly billion-dollar brand machine. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about selling products. That is the job. That is the system. No matter how many controversies they stumble through, no matter how many rebrands they run, no matter how many times they dust themselves off and climb back onto the high horse, they are still selling the public cheap, repackaged consumerism in a pretty bottle. AliExpress quality basics marketed as premium minimal luxury. Gummies with cute packaging. Celebrity sanitizer. Aesthetic overconsumption disguised as self-care. And here's the truth. They didn't get procedures because they were forced. They did it because their faces and bodies are part of the marketing strategy. They sell skincare and makeup and shapewear, and to sell it effectively, they need to look impossibly flawless. Then they turn around and imply the products are the reason. It's the oldest trick in the influencer playbook. We saw it with Kylie's lips. She filled her lips, then launched Kylie lip kits, and they sold out instantly. It got so intense that teenagers started doing the Kylie lip challenge and literally injuring themselves trying to copy her. That's the impact. That's the ripple effect. And if the Kardashians were truly pressured by the public into six-figure surgeries, they could simply say no. They're already rich. They could disappear tomorrow and live beautifully. They could invest, buy land, post nothing, never walk another red carpet. They could pull a Rob and vanish from public life. But they won't, because they want your money. They want your attention. They want your panic. And if they need to lie about procedures to keep your wallet open, then so be it. And to be clear, they aren't the only ones. They're just the loudest example of a much bigger industry, one that sells women an impossible mission: stay young forever. So how big is that industry? Massive. The company behind Botox has pulled in hundreds of millions from cosmetic use in single quarters. Think about that. That is millions per day, flowing from tiny syringes. Every time Kim Kardashian appears in 4K with glass-smooth skin, the baseline for normal shifts another pixel toward impossible. Off-camera, they're doing injectables and treatments and procedures, then calling it just lasers and just skincare and just olive oil. And the regulation, thin. Fillers are often treated as devices, not drugs, which means long-term tracking and surveillance is weak. A 21-year-old can walk into a strip mall med spa and walk out with cheeks pumped full. No real medical screening, no serious long-term data discussed. And when dermatologists warn about risks, muscle atrophy, vascular occlusion, they get labeled gatekeepers, while the algorithm boosts glamorized before and afters. So why does this keep happening? Because aging has been reframed as failure, like a moral flaw, like you did something wrong if your face dares to change. For the last 2 decades, Hollywood red carpets, Instagram filters, and dermatology marketing have merged into one megaphone that repeats a single message. If your face changes, you've messed up. Aging isn't treated like biology. It's treated like negligence. Like you didn't buy the right serum, didn't do the right tweakment, didn't erase the proof that you are alive and time is moving. Even the language proves it. Wrinkles are problems, freckles are damage, a slack jawline is something to correct. Creams rescue, lasers erase. The vocabulary itself treats normal human again. Like a defect. And the entertainment press reinforces it nonstop. People bullied Millie Bobby Brown for looking old when she was literally just growing up. People trashed Lorde at 28 for having wrinkles like she committed a crime. And now we're seeing it spill into the Kardashian world so deeply that people are saying Northwest, 12 years old, is looking older than Kim or Kris. 12. If you can say that about a child, something is broken. And yes, North has been styled in ways that look older, full glam, curated outfits, adult aesthetics being placed in adult spaces. She's being introduced to a world no 12-year-old should have to survive. And when you're raised inside a family where appearance is currency, scrutiny becomes oxygen. You breathe it in. You live inside it. it becomes normal. And that's what scares me, because it's a slippery slope. When a child grows up under that kind of pressure, procedures start to look like maintenance, not medical intervention. And the financial incentive behind all this panic is enormous. Anti-aging skincare alone is a global powerhouse. Elective cosmetic procedures have exploded alongside it. Neuromodulator injections have surged dramatically since 2010, and the underlying ageism is measurable. Even global health authorities have reported that a huge portion of the population holds ageist beliefs, and those beliefs correlate with real harm. Poorer mental health, reduced opportunity, and worse outcomes for the people targeted. You've probably heard it in compliments. You look good for your age. You look good for a mom. A little caveat tucked inside the praise, like being older or being a mother, is something you have to overcome to be considered attractive. Someone once told me, "You look so good for 33, and that was the first time I realized, wait, why would 33 be old? Why do you think I'm supposed to look terrible? The issue isn't always the person saying it, they often mean well. The issue is the culture that trained them to think aging is shameful. So what's the bottom line? What are we supposed to learn from all of this? The first step is recognizing that this problem is cultural, not dermatological, which means real change won't come from a new cream or a new injector trend. It comes from what we choose to amplify and what we refuse to fund, literally and figuratively. The Kardashians are going to keep doing what they've always done: sell brands, sell beauty, sell panic, sell the fantasy. They'll reveal some procedures when it benefits them and hide others when it protects the illusion. And honestly, I think a lot of their honesty era is marketing. It's curated transparency designed to keep them relevant while still controlling the narrative. But our job as consumers is to understand the play, to see the strategy, to stop letting them convince us that aging is something to fear when the truth is we cannot stop it. And we shouldn't want to. Aging is a privilege. It is proof you are still here. It is literally life happening. So please, never let anyone shame you for it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what you want me to cover next, because I make these videos based on what you ask for. And clearly, I love to talk. If you want more tea, you can click here to hear about Kylie finally admitting her boob job, or click here for the breakdown of the Kardashian downfall and why the whole empire just isn't hitting like it used to. Because let's be honest, nobody is buying those gummies. Nobody is buying the corn. It's time to wrap it up. I only make these videos because I love you, and I genuinely want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day, night, or whenever you're watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.